right into it. What up, folks? Welcome back, both my YouTube and my Facebook channels. Today, what I want to do is I'm going to do a mid-season report. We are at 4-4 currently as we sit, and I want to go back through some of the things that have happened during the season. Of course, as many of you guys know, our quarterback before the season even started went down with an injury. Coming into the season, we ended up with a quarterback that was supposed to be retired. So Jay Cutler ends up coming, if I'm not mistaken, he came in like 2 weeks into the preseason. He ends up starting the third preseason game, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he played some in the fourth preseason game. Not looking very good to me. I thought he looked terrible in both of those preseason games, even though there were fans that were claiming that he was looking good. I saw complete terribleness. I know that's not even a word, but that's what I saw. Anyway, all right. So, jumping over into our game, our season was interrupted by a hurricane. And we had our first game, which was supposed to be the Tampa Bay game. That game was interrupted, and we ended up having to move that game, which I forget what week that game is going to end up actually being played on. It's going to actually be played on November the 19th, which was supposed to be our bye week. So our bye week ended up coming in the first week of the season. So our first actual game was against the San Diego Chargers. San Diego Chargers came into that game 0-1 already. Pretty decent game for our team. Jay Ajayi rushed for 28 carries and 122 yards in that game. Devontae Parker was the lead receiver, with Kenny Stills getting the only touchdown from our receivers. Our defense held that San Diego Charger offense to 17 points. And the Miami Dolphins went ahead to win that first game against the San Diego Chargers 19-17. That was the first game of the season. The next game, which I thought would be a certain win for us, and I think everybody thought it would be a certain win for us. That next game came against the New York Jets. And right out the bat, the game started out horribly. We ended up playing that New York Jet team and going down in that game 20-6 versus the New York Jets, which left us at 1-1. Jay Cutler went 26 for 44, 220 yards, one touchdown and an interception. Jay Ajayi only 11 carries for 16 yards at a 1.5 yard clip. Devontae Parker again led the receivers with 8 catches, 76 yards, and the only touchdown. And the defense in that game surrendered 20 points. So at that point, we were 1-1. After that, we went over to London and took a shellacking at the hands of the New Orleans Saints, losing 20-0. In that game, the offense was not able to muster a single touchdown. Jay Cutler, 20 for 28, 164 yards and an interception. Jay Ajayi, again, not really getting on track, 12 carries. Well, actually, I can't really say he didn't get on track in this game. He just had 12 carries. 12 carries, 46 yards, 3.8 yards a carry for Jay Ajayi. So almost 4 yards a carry. And again, Devontae Parker led the receivers. He was the most productive receiver. That's 3 games for Devontae Parker as the most productive receiver. And this was the first game that we saw number 30 on the field. That was Cordell Tankersley getting his first start in that game. And he played pretty well. They went after him a little bit early. He showed himself, almost got a pick. And he played pretty well in that game. So that was the first game that we seen Cordell Tankersley. And we did not see, which we didn't know it was going to happen. I think people thought it was going to happen at some point, Byron Maxwell did not play in that game, and as it stands, that would be the beginning of the end for Byron Maxwell, as he would be cut later on in the season. Right. So the next game that left us at 1-2. The next game we went and we played the Tennessee Titans. Now, fortunately, in this game, Marcus Mariota did not play in this game, so we didn't have to face them at their best. Jay Cutler, again, not a great game. 12. He was 12 of 26, 92 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Jay Ajayi, 25 carries, 77 yards. To me, that's good enough. That's good enough to control the clock and just have a presence of a running game. This game, Jarvis Landry led us as the receiver, 5 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. Our defense only surrendered 10 points in this game and shut down one of the best rushing teams in football. So that left us at 2-2. Next game, very thrilling game for us. A game that I actually ended up going to. That was the Dolphins versus the Falcons right here in Atlanta. Jay Cutler, 19 for 33, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Jay Ajayi's best game happened in this game. Jay Ajayi, 26 carries, 130 yards, no touchdowns, but definitely helping to control the clock. Jarvis Landry, 8 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown. And our defense once again kept a team under 20 points, 17 points to the Atlanta Falcons. And the Atlanta Falcons got all of their points in the first half, scoring 17 points in the first half, and then they got zipped blanked in the second half. Big plays happened in that game for the Atlanta Falcons early, and after that, they didn't get any, and the game was ended on an interception late in the fourth quarter, which sealed that one, and the Miami Dolphins go to 3-2. The very next game will be versus the New York Football Jets. Second game, this game in Miami. Josh McCown, who has been playing relatively well for the Jets, 3 touchdowns in this game. It was the first time our defense has given up more than 20 points all season long, and that came to Josh McCown and the New York Jets. Robbie Anderson giving the Dolphins problems. Curse getting a big 29-yard pass catch. Bilal Powell leading them on the run side. For the Miami Dolphins, both Jay Cutler and Matt Moore played in this game. Jay Cutler would go down, and Matt Moore came in to win this game. This was a game that we were actually down. Matt Moore came in and threw 13 for 21 for 2 touchdowns and an interception. Before Jay Cutler went out, he was doing pretty well himself. 12 for 16, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Jarvis Landry again leading the Dolphins, but Kenny Stills took this fucking game over. When I tell you he took this game over, this is the game that Kenny Stills took over because he caused all types of problems, scoring 2 touchdowns in this game, having 6 receptions and 85 yards. And Buster Screen was catching all kind of hell trying to defend Kenny Stills in this game. So then the very next game, of course, was the absolute complete debacle. That was Dolphins versus the Baltimore Ravens, 40-0. A game that Matt Moore started. He went 25 for 44, 176 yards, 2 interceptions. Jay Ajayi, 13 for 23, 13 carries for 23 yards. And Kenny Stills once again leading the receivers in this game as he caught 5 catches for 65 yards. There was no Devontae Parker in this game due to an ankle injury. And he would sit, I think he sat 2 or 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, sat about 2 or 3 weeks. And he finally came back in this game that we just lost. The next game which would welcome back Devontae Parker, was the Dolphins versus the Raiders. And the offense looked pretty good in that game. Jay Cutler, 34 for 42, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, and most importantly, no interceptions in that game. By far the best game that I've seen from Jay Cutler in a Dolphin uniform. As far as everything, not turning the ball over, ball placement, looked good. Also, the best game that we have seen from Julius Thomas, as he led the Dolphins with 6 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. That's very promising. Damian Williams chipped in a touchdown receiving, as well as he bopped off of a couple defenders, spent and dove into the end zone for a touchdown. Kenyon Drake in this game. This was the first game that we did not have Jay Ajayi as our back, as he was traded before the game on the trade deadline for a pack of Skittles and some stale ruffled potato chips. So 9 carries for Kenyon Drake, 69 yards. The offense looked pretty clean and crisp, but still not able to score enough points. Offense only got 9 points in the first half. The Raiders had 13, and then we matched touchdowns in the third quarter and got 8 points in the fourth quarter. The major difference was that 3 points in the first quarter. If we would have got any points in the first quarter, we would have had a chance of winning this game, but just unable to do that. Unable to contain Cook. Jared Cook, 8 catches for 123 yards. It wasn't the receivers. It wasn't Amari Cooper or Crabtree, as they were relatively held in check. It was actually the tight end that gave us the most problems in this game. So, as we sit right now at the midway point of the season, we are currently 4-4. And to me, it doesn't look very good. It just doesn't. I can't sugarcoat it for us. It doesn't look good. We have the Panthers, the Buccaneers, and the Broncos look like the most winnable games out of all the. Actually, the Broncos and the Buccaneers look like the most winnable games out of all the games. And we're probably going to play the Broncos with the Buccaneers with no Jameis Winston. I don't give a shit what quarterback the Broncos put up, because they all garbage. They all garbage. Every single last one of their quarterbacks is trash. Well, I haven't seen not Tracy Simeon, Paxton Lynch, or I think they have Chad Kelly as well, if I'm not mistaken. Haven't seen any of those guys, but Brock Osweiler is a flaming trash can, and Simeon is no fucking better. So it will be possible for us to maybe come out of that Bronco game with a win. But that's a very tough defense. We can't make mistakes versus that team. And I know they just got blew out by Philadelphia, but I take nothing for granted with that team. 2 of the best cornerbacks in football. That's still gonna be a pretty tough game, considering the way that we played. The other winnable game for us is the Buccaneers, which we probably won't have. They probably won't have Jameis Winston, but we shall have to wait and see exactly how we play. But in these last few games, we had the Patriots twice, the Bills, who are pretty good, twice, and the Chiefs. So, I don't see us winning more than 6 games, folks. I just don't. I don't see us winning more than 6 games. I came into this season thinking that we would win 4 games. I can't see no more than 6. Now, that's from a. Let me just say this. That's from a complete NFL analyst, just plain old simple watching football perspective. As a fan, I don't count my team out until the last bell has rung. That's just how I am as a fan. I will always be optimistic that my team could possibly come out and get a victory. But from a logical sports analysis, I just don't see us being able to come out of this with more than 5 or 6 wins, possibly. And the only reason why I give us the 5 or 6 wins is because the Broncos don't have a quarterback, and Jameis Winston is going to be down for the Broncos. Down for the Buccaneers. It's still going to be tough with both of those teams unless our offense just clicks. Our offense still has not click. I still don't feel like we played our best game. I just don't. It doesn't feel. Maybe the best game that we played so far was our last game. No turnovers from the quarterback. We got a turnover from Kenyon Drake, but the offense looked smoother. It looked cleaner. You know what I mean? So that is my Miami Dolphins mid-season review. Let me know what you feel about this. Let me know what you feel our record is going to be at the end of the season. I got us at either 4-12 or 5-12. Let me know how you feel about this. And if you feel like we're going to win more games than I've stated, let me know where you think we're going to win those games at. Which matchup are you counting on to match your prediction? Let me know. Anyway, folks, I'm up out of here. Mid-season Dolphins season in review. I was going to do some highlights. I might still do a fancy video with highlights and shit like that for it. But I just wanted to talk about it and get this video out of the way. Dolphin fan voices this weekend will be on Sunday at 7 o'clock because, of course, we do play on Monday night. I hope that we show up and play our best versus the Panthers. Wait a minute. Is it Monday night or is it Sunday night? Yeah, it's going to be Monday at 8:30. And I want to go to this game. Get off at 3. I may actually end up going to this game and watching Dolphins versus Panthers. I'm not sure yet. I think that's like a 3-hour drive for me to go see that Dolphin versus Panther game. Anyway, man, I'm out of here. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Twitter handle is @casual, @KASUWELL. And my Facebook page, because that's where I'm showing every single Dolphins football game. You can check it out. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.